I think it would be a great idea. When I was doing my bachelor, I found it like a big pressure of the whole grade, and of course you want to have like a 12, and it was kind of like the only good grade. Like if you said I got a 10, it was not accepted as a good grade. So my first kind of thought is, that's interesting. I think it could work because, you know, we're not here just because of a grade. We're here because we want to learn something, and that should be the motivation of you know, taking an education.
It can go both ways because, like, when you're a new bachelor student going to the university, you kind of expect a lot of work and whatnot, and that might stress you out. So not being graded is great. But then again, if you're the type of person that doesn't get stressed easily, then you might just slack during the first year, which can give you incentive to slack off rest of the whole bachelor also. But I think it'd be great to test it and see how it works.
I would not prefer that solution. I think that grades, especially through the first year, it gives the students an idea of like where they stand academically, and I think especially like through the first year, it's a way like to prepare them for what will come in the other years. And also, many of the most important courses throughout your bachelor's you will have during the first year.
I think it's great that they're going to test it. I think that's a great thing to try it out. In practice, I think it will be hard to keep the motivation at the same level if you have no grades whatsoever. So that's definitely something that you could worry about with implementing this.
I think to some extent it's a good idea, but I also believe that you get an idea of what level you're on the first year, and you get the idea really where you can improve yourself. So I think it's both good and bad, but of course it would definitely take some of the pressure away, because during the first year there's a lot of talking about grades.
I think it's gonna be a good idea for the people in bachelors, because I saw many young people really concerned about their grades and not really focusing on the subject and what are they learning. And I think this can lead to a better focusing on what they are actually learning about, and not just the grades, which is just a number, is not really an appreciation.
Well, I think there are pros and cons. For me personally, it's nice to know where you place on the scale, but at the same time I experienced a lot of pressure in the first year because a lot of people were talking about which grade they got, and maybe if my grade were lower, I wouldn't necessarily want to talk about it to all the other people. So maybe it would be a good idea just in the first year to avoid the grades and focus on feedback instead.
Personally, I like getting grades because I know where I am, if I'm up to speed or if I need to study harder, so to speak. But there is too much focus at CBS on grades and on exams. And quite frankly, the first thing you're told when you start on a class, on a semester or course, is that you go to this and this exam and you have to do this and this. The focus is more on going to exams almost than learning. So I think more feedback would be great. There's a lack of feedback on CBS. The only feedback you get now is a number.